was about 2 or 3 years into our marriage. We decided we were ready to start our family. I was about 20 weeks when we lost that baby. For it to be your first pregnancy, it was a tough loss. To go that far and to know that he was a little boy and all of that, it was a very difficult time. We went to see the doctor and she told us the chance of having another miscarriage were very high, and the doctor suggested adoption at that point. As a young girl, I always wanted a big family. Just when Chad and I started talking about having a family, I always said, I don't know, 2 girls, 2 boys, and then everybody has a brother, everybody has a sister, I'm good. And I always just thought twins would be fun. They're cute and they grow up together and you can dress them in matching clothes. And to go down the adoption road and go through that journey was a little scary. It wasn't just a few months later that we ended up putting our application in to adopt. We were chosen and we met our birth mom and went to birthing classes with her, went out to dinner, went to the movies, all of that kind of stuff, just to get to know her. And then on October 28th, our son Mason was born, and we were over the moon. His birth mom and I communicated after we brought him home, and she was very unhappy and she wasn't comfortable with her decision. We were asked to give him back at about 6 weeks. To lose your first baby to miscarriage, and then your second to failed adoption. The questions come in. What are we doing wrong? Why us? It was very, very difficult. The adoption agency that we were with suggested that we go see Terry Burnett at CPO. She was also an adoptive mom, and she had also had a failed adoption. She knew what we were going through. She knew the struggle that was there. She knew the heartache of it. And so more than anything, it was so nice to have someone that could hear us out, that could just listen and totally got it. A couple weeks after we lost Mason, I was on the phone with Terry and she said, I don't know what it is, but I just have this feeling that you really should put your application in with CPO. So Chad and I talked about it and just thought, why not? Let's just try it again. Maybe this time, maybe this time. I called Cheryl Bauman and she said, bring me your application, bring me your life book. Not 2 days after that, she had a birth mom come in and she chose us. And in February, Carson was born. To see him and hold him, I knew he was mine. His birth mom made me a mother. And that was a pretty amazing experience. After Kennedy was born, we waited probably 3 or 4 years, and Chad and I separately came to each other, and I said, honey, I'm sorry. I just feel like it's our time to adopt again. And he looked at me and he goes, I feel the same way. I'm like, oh no. Cheryl Bauman called and she said, you've been chosen. And those words, I don't even know how to describe that call that you get. 2 months later, our son Cohen was born. So Cohen was with the babysitter one afternoon, and I got a phone call that he had stopped breathing, and I needed to get there right away. You know, the dreams where you can't run, you can't scream. It's true. You can't get there fast enough. So when we got to the hospital, they were breathing for him. They were pumping his chest. He was in a coma for about 5 days. It wasn't getting better. One of the hardest things was telling our kids that their brother was going to heaven today. So that day we did a lot together as a family. We did handprints and footprints together with Cohen, and our priest came and they baptized him, and then it was time. They took him off of the ventilator, and they brought me a rocking chair so I could rock him to sleep. So I held him and I rocked him until he went to heaven. Was just another heartache. It took some time to heal. There was quite a bit of fear, but we decided, let's call Cheryl Bauman and let's see if we can get this ball rolling again. And we meet our next birth mom. She had chosen Chad and I to be this little boy's family. We were just preparing for Gordy's arrival, just getting to know his birth mom, and right smack in the middle of that, we got another phone call from Cheryl, and she said, I have a birth mom that I would love for you to meet, and she wants to meet you too. I asked when the baby was due. She said, she's been born, and she's about 8 weeks old. And I may have screamed in the phone. I was so excited. And I called the birth mom. We met her at like 11:30, and by 5:30, we had Mia in our arms. And oh my gosh, that was awesome. Just over 2 months after we were given Mia, Gordy was born. So now, looking at our family, we have 2 boys, 2 girls, and practically twins. I can't believe that's my family. CPO as a whole is something you will find nowhere else. We're all a part of it. We're all in it together. And there's nothing like that community at CPO. Every time Chad and I have been through some kind of tragedy with our babies, they're there. And they're crying with us. Our journey for our family has been a long one, and it's been sometimes very tragic. But there's so much life in this house now, so much love. I'm just in awe sometimes of how God works. They're ours. Like, this is our family now. And it's everything I've ever prayed for. It's okay to open your heart. Sometimes you're going to get burned. Sometimes you're going to get hurt. But sometimes you don't. And that's the beautiful part of life.